See, the calendar moves forward whether you do or not. A year will pass. The question is, what will that year bring you? Will it bring progress or regret? Will it bring harvest or weeds? Will it bring strength or weakness? The answer lies in the choices you're making right now. Think about health. If you choose the candy bar today, the couch today, the cigarette today, a year from now, the results will show. If you choose the apple today, the walk today, the discipline today, a year from now, the results will also show. The year is going to pass regardless. The body you have then will be the sum of the choices you made now. Wealth works the same way. Spend it all today, and a year from now, you'll be no further than you are now, maybe worse. Invest, save, be wise with what's in your hands, and a year from now, the difference will be clear. Choices compound. What seems small today becomes significant tomorrow. And let's not forget relationships. Speak careless words today, take people for granted today, neglect the little acts of kindness, and a year from now, distance will show. A year is not far away. 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days. They slip by quietly, one by one. And every single day is an ink stroke in the book of your life. Every action is a sentence. Every decision is a paragraph. Every habit is a chapter. The book will be written whether you like it or not. The only question is, are you writing it consciously, or is it being written by neglect? I'll tell you something I learned. Neglect is as much a choice as discipline. Choosing not to act is still a choice. And neglect always brings a harvest of weeds, of weakness, of regret. So when I say your choices today are writing your life a year from now, I mean it literally. If you don't like the direction your life is headed, you don't have to wait a year to change it. You can change it tonight. Change a decision, change a habit, change a direction. And a year from now, you'll thank yourself for that choice. The magic of life is that a year from now, you can be totally different than you are today. More fit, more wealthy, more skilled, more disciplined, more respected. Or you can be exactly the same, or worse. The difference is not in the calendar, it's in the choices. A year is not far away. 12 short months. And here's the truth. You're already writing it. With every choice you make today, you're laying the foundation for the life you'll step into next year. Most people drift through their days thinking the future will be different simply because time will pass. But time by itself does nothing. It only magnifies the decisions you're making right now. Good or bad, wise or foolish, disciplined or lazy, the future will reveal the pattern of your present. Think of a tree. You plant it today, you water it, you nurture it. A year from now, you don't have a mighty oak, but you do have roots. You do have growth. But if you plant nothing, if you water nothing, if you nurture nothing, a year from now, you'll still be standing in the same empty field. The tree is time's gift to those who act. The principle works the same in every area of life. Your health will not change by chance. It will change because of daily decisions. The apple or the candy bar, the walk or the couch. Those choices add up. A year from now, you'll either be glad you made them or you'll wish you had. Wealth is the same story. Spend it all, and a year from now, you'll still be broke. Save a little, invest a little, and a year from now, the difference begins to show. It doesn't take a miracle. It takes direction. And relationships, how many people discover after a year that distance has grown between them and the ones they love? Not because of a single great failure, but because of 1,000 little choices. Neglecting gratitude, choosing harsh words over gentle ones, ignoring when they should have paid attention. Relationships are built or broken by choices. not by fate. Here's the amazing thing. A year is both a long time and a short time. Long enough to make real change, but short enough that it will be here before you know it. The days slip by quickly, but the results do not hide. They wait for you, quietly, until the year has passed. And then they arrive on your doorstep, demanding an answer. Did you choose wisely? Did you act with discipline? Or did you drift? I often say the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. And regret is what fills the lives of people who didn't realize their choices were writing the story. The future is not a mystery. It is a mirror, reflecting back the pattern of today. So tonight I want you to imagine it. Imagine yourself a year from now. Same month, same day, just 1 year later. What will you look like? What will your bank account look like? What will your relationships feel like? What skills will you have? What habits will define you? Whatever picture you see, know this. It will be shaped by the choices you begin making right now. Your future is not waiting. It is forming. One decision at a time, one habit at a time, one day at a time. Let's get practical with this idea. A year from now, life will show you the harvest of the seeds you're planting today. You can't escape it. You can't cheat it. Every choice has a consequence, and every consequence shows up in time. Think about your daily routine, the small things. They don't look like much, but string them together for a year, and they add up to a life. One donut doesn't ruin you, but a donut every morning plus no walk, plus late nights, that's a pattern. One book doesn't make you wise, but a little reading every day plus note-taking plus reflection, that's a pattern too. The question is, which pattern are you following? The same law applies to money. Skip saving 1 week, no big deal. Skip it for 52 weeks, now it's obvious. Put away a little each week, maybe it doesn't look like much at first, but give it a year, and suddenly you see the compound effect. Choices always compound. They multiply, they magnify, they accumulate. And I'll tell you something else. Neglect is as powerful as discipline. Discipline builds. Neglect destroys. And both are invisible at first. Skip the workout today. You don't notice much. Skip it for a year. You notice plenty. Read a little today. You don't feel transformed. Read a little for a year. You can't believe the difference. Invisible at first, unmistakable later. That's the way choices work. I once told a friend, every day is a vote for the person you're becoming. He laughed, but then he thought about it. Because it's true. Every decision is casting a ballot for the future you. Eat the apple, vote for health. Skip it, vote against it. Invest the money, vote for wealth. Spend it foolishly, vote against it. Say the kind word, vote for a strong relationship. Stay silent or sharp, vote against it. And by the end of the year, the ballots are counted, and the result is your life. Now here's the challenge. Most people underestimate a year. They think, it's only 12 months. What difference can it make? But I'll tell you, it can make all the difference. A year is long enough to lose the weight, build the savings, repair the relationship, learn the skill. A year is long enough to turn nearly everything around. But here's the other challenge. Most people overestimate tomorrow. They say, I'll start later, I'll save later, I'll change later, and later never comes. Tomorrow is the easiest day in the world to waste because it's always available. But today is the only day that actually writes the story. So let's simplify it. Ask yourself, what story am I writing today? Not what story do I hope to write someday? What story am I writing today with my choices? Because those choices are the ink. They're filling the page, whether you notice or not. And the year will reveal the story. The truth is, you don't have to predict the future. You can build it. If you want to know what your life will look like a year from now, take a look at your choices today. They are the blueprint. They are the path. They are the pen in your hand. Now, here's the fascinating thing about choices. Most of them don't feel important in the moment. They feel small, almost invisible. But stacked together day after day, they become destiny. A glass of water instead of a soda that feels like nothing. But carry that decision through 365 days, and your health has changed. 10 minutes of reading before bed doesn't feel like much. But do it for a year, and suddenly you've read a dozen books. You've got new ideas, new vocabulary, new perspective. Small hinges swing big doors, and daily choices are those hinges. The danger is, the results don't show up immediately. If every bad choice hurt instantly, nobody would make them. If every good choice rewarded instantly, everybody would stay disciplined. But life hides the harvest. You plant today, you harvest later. And that delay is where most people lose it. They quit watering the seed because the sprout hasn't shown yet. I've seen people go to the gym for a week, then quit because they didn't see change. They save a little, then spend it because it seemed too small to matter. They try kindness once, but when it doesn't heal a relationship immediately, they give up. But that's not how life works. Choices are investments. You don't get the return on day one, you get it down the road. The farmer doesn't plant in April and expect a full harvest in May. He knows the law of the seasons: sow, tend, wait, reap. Choices follow the same law. Sow the right ones, and the harvest will come. But not on your schedule, on life's schedule. This is why discipline is rare, because discipline is doing the right thing today without the applause, without the immediate payoff. Discipline trusts the process. Discipline knows a year will tell the truth. And here's the flip side. Neglect also trusts the process, but in the wrong direction. Skip discipline today, you don't feel it. Skip tomorrow, you still don't feel it. But keep skipping. And one day the weight of all those skip choices shows up. And when it does, it's heavy. So I always tell people, guard the small choices. They are not small. They are the bricks of the foundation. You cannot build a cathedral without bricks, and you cannot build a great life without daily choices. Now let's bring this close to home. Imagine two people starting today. One decides to read 30 minutes a day, eat wisely, save a little, and make one phone call of appreciation each evening. The other decides to drift. TV, snacks, spending, silence. After one day, no difference. After 1 week, still no difference. But after 1 year, the gap is enormous. One has grown, the other has shrunk. One is proud, the other regrets. Same time, same opportunity, different choices. So let me ask you, what small choices are you underestimating today? Because those are the ones writing your story a year from now. Not the big moments, not the dramatic events, but the quiet, ordinary decisions that nobody notices until the results show up later. A year from now, the world will see your choices. Your health will display them. Your bank account will display them. Your relationships will display them. The world always sees what we thought was hidden. Choices don't stay invisible forever. They appear in time, as surely as the harvest follows the planting. Now let's take this idea into the real fabric of life. A year from now, the condition of your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your skills will all bear the fingerprints of your daily choices. No area is exempt. Let's start with health. Your body is an honest ledger. It records everything you give it. Every late night, every skipped walk, every extra plate, it writes it down. But it also records the apple, the jog, the glass of water, the hour of rest. And the sum of those entries shows up later. You can't cheat it. Health will tell the truth of your choices. Wealth is no different. Every dollar you spend, every dollar you save, every dollar you invest, these are choices. At the end of the year, the balance sheet tells the story. And it doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't care about good intentions. It only reflects behavior. The bank account is a mirror of your habits. And then there's relationships. They grow or shrink by choice. Do you give attention or do you neglect? Do you express gratitude or do you stay silent? Do you listen or do you just wait to talk? A year of those decisions writes a story. And people read that story in the way they respond to you. Some draw closer, some drift away. Not by accident, but by choice. What about skills? A year of practice adds up. A year of neglect adds up too. If you spend 15 minutes a day learning something new, in a year, you've logged more than 90 hours. That's the difference between average and excellent. But if you skip it day after day, you don't just stand still, you fall behind. Because the world keeps moving forward whether you do or not. Now here's something important. The year doesn't care about what you meant to do. It only cares about what you did. Intentions don't write the story, actions do. That's why people often feel surprised at the end of a year. They say, I didn't expect to be here. But the truth is, they made the choices that brought them there. They just weren't paying attention while they were writing the script. It's like a painter who claims he wanted to paint a landscape but ends up with a portrait. The brush told the truth. The strokes were not for a tree or a hill. They were for a face. Same with life. The brush is your choices, and the canvas will not lie. So let me ask you, if your life a year from now will be the sum of today's choices, what areas deserve new attention? Where are you neglecting? Where are you drifting? Where are you being careless? Because those areas will show up later. And here's the encouraging part. If you want a different story, you don't need to wait. You can pick up a new pen today. Make a new choice today. Start a new habit today. The story can change the moment the choices change. A year from now, someone will be stronger, wealthier, wiser, happier. Not because they were lucky, but because they made choices that built that outcome. And someone else will be weaker, poorer, frustrated. Not because they were cursed, but because they made choices that led them there. Same time, different choices, different results. The year will not lie. It will only echo the decisions you're making right now. Now let's talk about something subtle but powerful. Momentum. A year is not just a collection of days. It's the momentum of choices stacking on top of each other. And once momentum builds, it's hard to stop. Think about a train on the tracks. At first, it struggles to move. The engine strains, the wheels grind. But once it gains momentum, it can cut through obstacles. That's how choices work. At first, the discipline feels heavy. The workout, the saving, the reading, the extra effort. It takes energy to get started. But after a while, it becomes habit. And habit is momentum. Now here's the catch. Neglect builds momentum too. Skip one day, no big deal. Skip 2 days, easier. Skip 10 days, now it's a habit of skipping. And once that momentum builds, it's also hard to stop. A year of neglect creates a pull downward, just as strong as a year of discipline creates a pull upward. That's why small beginnings matter, because every choice is not isolated. It's the start of a direction. The moment you decide, you've already placed yourself on a path. The longer you walk it, the harder it is to turn around. I knew a man who started jogging just 5 minutes a day. At first it seemed almost laughable, but 5 minutes turned into 10. 10 turned into 20. Before long, he was running marathons, not because he made one giant leap, but because momentum carried him forward. The first choice was small, but it unlocked a chain reaction. That's how life really changes. Not in one dramatic event, but in the quiet accumulation of choices. The book you open today becomes the bookshelf of wisdom a year from now. The dollar you save today becomes financial security a year from now. The word of encouragement you speak today becomes a relationship of trust a year from now. One choice multiplied by momentum creates transformation. But here's the danger. You can't fool momentum. It always tells the truth. It records your actions without bias. It doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't pause for intentions. It simply moves in the direction you set. That's why careless living is so costly. Because once the wrong habits gain speed, they drag you further than you meant to go. So let me ask you, what momentum are you building right now? Look honestly. Is it the momentum of growth or the momentum of decline? Are you being carried toward health, wealth, wisdom, and stronger relationships? Or are you sliding toward regret? The good news is, momentum is built from small shifts. You don't need to overhaul everything in one day. You just need to make the next right choice. One turn of the wheel, one brick on the foundation, one line in the book. Enough of those, and momentum takes over. And when it does, it feels almost effortless. Discipline becomes lifestyle. Sacrifice becomes investment. Growth becomes natural. And a year from now, momentum will be visible. People will look at you and say, "How did you do it?" And you'll know, it wasn't one choice. It was many. It was the daily, consistent choices that built a force too strong to stop. Your future is not waiting. It's moving. And it's moving in the direction of your choices today. Now let's broaden this out. Your choices don't just shape your health, wealth, or relationships. They shape your reputation, your opportunities, your influence. A year from now, people will see you differently because of the choices you're making right now. Reputation is built slowly, one choice at a time. Tell the truth today. Keep your word today. Follow through today. And in a year, people will trust you. Break your promises. Cut corners. Tell small lies. And in a year, people will doubt you. Reputation is nothing more than the echo of your choices. Opportunities work the same way. They don't just appear out of thin air. They come because of the person you've become. If you discipline yourself today, if you build skills today, if you show reliability today, then a year from now, doors will open. People will say, "I want you on this project. I want you in this partnership. I want you in this circle." Not because you were lucky, but because your choices earned it. And what about influence? Influence is not a title. Influence is the respect people give you because of how you live. A year of selfish choices shrinks your influence. A year of generous choices expands it. Influence grows when people watch you make the right decisions over time. They see consistency, they see integrity, they see discipline, and that earns a voice. Let's go further. Your contribution to the world, your legacy, is written one choice at a time. You don't leave a mark by accident. You leave it by daily acts that stack up. A kind word today, a helping hand today, an act of generosity today. Over a year, over a lifetime, those choices become your story. People will remember not what you intended, but what you chose to do. And here's something to think about. A year from now, someone will be living in the benefit of your choices, or in the shadow of them. Your children, your spouse, your colleagues, your friends, they all feel the impact. Your choices ripple. You don't choose in isolation. You're writing more than your own life. you're writing the lives of others around you. So the question grows larger. Not just, what do I want my life to look like in a year? But also, what do I want my influence to feel like in a year? What do I want others to say about me in a year? What kind of opportunities do I want waiting for me in a year? And the answer is always the same. It will come from today's choices. The simple ones, the hidden ones, the ones nobody applauds today, but everybody notices tomorrow. You see, a year is not just about personal growth. It's about relational growth, financial growth, community growth. It's about becoming the kind of person whose very presence adds value wherever they go. That kind of person doesn't appear suddenly. They are crafted by consistent choices over time. So as you look at your year ahead, ask not only what do I want, but also who do I want to become? Because who you become is shaped by what you choose. And a year from now, that truth will be on display for everyone to see. Now it's time for the real challenge. Too many people sit back and wait for life to change. They wait for the break, they wait for the promotion, they wait for the economy, they wait for luck. But waiting is also a choice. And a year of waiting produces nothing but regret. If you want a different year ahead, you must decide to act now. Change direction now. Discipline yourself now. Because the future is not some mysterious force. It's the accumulation of today repeated. If today is wasted, tomorrow is wasted. And a year later, the waste is undeniable. I've met people who say, Jim, a year is too long. I need change fast. But here's the truth. A year passes quickly. And in that time, nearly everything can be different. You can shed the weight. You can double your income. You can rebuild a relationship. You can learn a new skill. 12 months is not too long. It's short, but it's long enough to transform a life if you're consistent. The problem is, most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. They want instant change, so they quit when the results aren't instant. But the year keeps moving. The time passes anyway. And when it does, the only question is, did you plant seeds or did you let weeds grow? So here's the challenge. Live as if the year already arrived. Imagine yourself 12 months from now. Picture the health, the wealth, the relationships, the skills, the reputation. Then ask, what choices would that version of me be making today? And then make those choices now. Step into that future by writing it today. Don't be casual about it. Casual choices bring a casual life. Be intentional. Every meal, every purchase, every word, every hour, each one is a brushstroke. Each one is carving the sculpture. You cannot escape it. The future you is being built today, whether by design or by default. And remember, discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the bridge. It connects where you are to where you want to be. It's not the enemy. It's the gift. And when you embrace it, you discover that what felt heavy at first begins to feel light, because strength grows in the process. So decide tonight. Decide to change one choice, just one, then guard it, then repeat it. And soon the habit forms. And when the habit forms, the momentum builds. And when the momentum builds, the year is yours. I'll say it again. Your choices today are writing your life a year from now. And when that year arrives, there will be no hiding. The results will show. And you'll either be glad you did, or you'll wish you had. So let's bring it all together. A year from now, you'll meet yourself. Not the self you dreamed of, not the self you intended, but the self you built, day by day, choice by choice. That meeting is unavoidable. The only question is whether you'll greet that person with pride or with regret. The truth is, no one escapes the law of choices. We all write the story. Some write carelessly, and they arrive at a year filled with excuses, weakness, disappointment. Others write carefully, and they arrive at a year filled with strength, achievement, satisfaction. The pen is in your hand either way. And don't forget, the future is not written in big dramatic events. It's written in the little decisions, the late night or the early morning, the book or the television, the savings account or the credit card, the word of gratitude or the word of criticism. These are the bricks. And over 12 months, the wall gets built. The challenge tonight is to take responsibility, to stop waiting for circumstances and start designing outcomes, to stop saying someday and start saying today, because someday is not on the calendar. Only today is. And today is the author of your year. Now here's the good news. You don't have to get it perfect. You don't have to make every choice right. You just have to start writing in the right direction. Enough good choices stacked together will carry you past the mistakes. Discipline outweighs neglect. Growth outweighs decline. The story bends toward the choices you make most often. So imagine it, a year from now, stronger in body, richer in finances, deeper in relationships, wiser in mind, greater in influence. That's not a fantasy. That's the reward for a year of intentional choices. And it's waiting for the one who decides tonight. But also imagine the opposite. Same struggles, same bank account, same excuses, same regrets, maybe worse. That's also not a mystery. That's the result of neglect, of delay, of drifting. And it's waiting for the one who decides nothing. So the question is clear. Which future will you choose? The one that happens by accident or the one that happens by design? Because both futures are being written, and the pen, my friend, is in your hand tonight. Your choices today are writing your life a year from now. Make them count.